station. Heed the call, the escalation. This is your radio salvation. Go, 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 go.
It's a rough discus lariat.
The huge suplex.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the post-Super Bowl edition of Thoughts Count Anywhere. Welcome to Go Live Vegas. I am Aaron Phillips with my other Thoughts Count Anywhere partners. To my right is Matt Mullen. How are you, Matt?
I'm good, except for the results on Sunday.
Well, we'll deal with that in a second. And all the way to his right, Mr. Johnny Rock, fresh from the road and his drive back from East. How are you, sir?
It's been a fun week back.
How's it?
Very busy.
All right, well, that's good. Better than the alternatives. We thank you for tuning in. Our telephone number is 702-660-7666. Our fourth partner, Mr. Scott Hosey, is, he's not in parts unknown because we do know where he is, but he is currently at the Boulevard Mall at his store, well, kind of outside his store. He's meeting with some top executives at Sequest that we're hoping will have some support from Sequest in the coming days. That would be nice.
Is that Star Trek ripoff where they have the dolphin?
No. This is no Star Trek reference. This is all aquarium-like. So we want to thank Sequest for perhaps giving us a look-see. Listen, after 25,000 views of last week's show, and for those who are keeping track, the previous week's show, we were what? I don't know, 10,000, 12,
Yeah,
something like
under,
that.
yeah.
And we've doubled yet again.
We're getting bigger and better. You
We
guys,
are.
thank you so much.
Absolutely. So please keep resharing us to your friends and family, our Facebook feed as you are watching this. Don't forget, we are on GoLive.Vegas. If you have not downloaded the Go Live Vegas app to your Android or your iPhone, do so now so that if you have to take off, take us with you. We're good company. You know, we may not look so good, but we certainly sound good.
We got voices for radio.
That's right.
Faces for radio.
We have voices for radio along with the faces for. Well, we can't say faces anymore because with the cameras and 8 cameras here and one over our head if we ever need to use. I'm waiting for one to be on the floor looking up, but that's a whole nother story. Thank God we don't wear kilts on this show. 702-660.
You don't.
That's why you're on that end of the table, sir. All right. So, gentlemen, are we ready to get started?
We are.
I
we
hear
are.
voices. Here we go. All right. Let's get it started. Who wants to take it off first?
Rumor is Sting has been cleared to wrestle one more match, possibly at Super Showdown or WrestleMania. I really hope they don't waste him at Super Showdown. It better be at WrestleMania, preferably against The Undertaker, the match everybody's wanted to see, even though it's 20 years too late. It's got to happen.
Well, what if it was a retirement match?
So what?
Like we were saying
both
off
right
the
there.
air.
They're both right there.
Let's make it a triple threat and put Baron Corbin in it. You know how much heat that dude would get for retiring The Undertaker and Sting at the same time?
That you know what? He retired Angle, so it'll be a heck of a thing to.
You know
put
what?
on his mantle.
That would surefire cement Baron Corbin's.
My
place
friend
in the Hall of
Ryan would
Fame.
lose his damn mind. He
My
hates
goodness.
Baron Corbin.
Well, Baron Corbin got an opportunity to gloat this weekend, even though he took a lot of dog food at the last pay-per-view. But he was in Kansas City. He was FaceTiming or Facebook streaming from the Super Bowl in Miami, wearing his Chiefs jersey stuff. So he was in full glory with this Kansas City Chiefs.
You know. Speaking of the dog food, I got to give a shout out to one of our listeners, Ryan Smith.
Yeah.
You accurately predicted the loser eats dog food match like 2-3 weeks ago. So, dude, keep your prognosticator on your head. 'Cause,
Although I will say, I think even Stevie Wonder could have seen that match coming. But that's just my opinion. But yeah, good job, Ryan. We appreciate you sharing that with us. Again, 702-660-7666 is our number. By the way, if I sound like little James Earl Jones tonight, I am dealing with a little congestion, so I apologize. I sound like Luke, I am your father.
Whoa, when did we invite Darth Vader?
All right,
You can keep your coronavirus on that side
Yeah,
of
I'll
the
keep it.
table.
I
That'd be lovely.
I should have come in with a mask. That would have been great. 702-660.
2319. Let's get the hazmat guys.
That's right. Oh my goodness. All right. Next topic. Go for it, John.
All right, AJ Styles is listed out as indefinitely with a shoulder injury, but rumor is it's not as serious as they let on, and he should only be out for 4 to 6 weeks. I think it's a build for a Mania program,
I think you're right.
possibly with Edge.
Well, Edge and don't you think Edge and Orton are going to go at it?
I think Edge and Orton are going to go out at the next pay-per-view, but I think AJ is the end game for Mania.
Wow. I don't know if I agree with that. I think they're building. After the beating he took, they can't bring him back that quickly if they want to sell the injuries. So I think, in my opinion, I think we're going to see Orton and Edge at WrestleMania. That's my opinion.
I agree with you, Aaron. I think that would be the way to go. Edge is so hot right now, and the way he took him out, and the way Orton's playing off on it,
See, but you could tell that wasn't the original plan. And, I mean, we've seen Edge versus Orton how many times? I think the whole
Not in
reason...
the last 9 years we haven't.
But I think the whole reason, the reason I'm excited that Edge is back, I want to see Edge versus some of the new guys we have. I want to see Edge versus Daniel Bryan. I want to see Edge versus AJ Styles. I want to see Edge versus the new generation of WWE talent, not these cast-offs from the Ruthless Aggression era where Edge was a star.
I think we will see that, but Edge being gone from so long from that kind of an injury, wouldn't you want to come back to somebody you trust?
I get that, but I mean, AJ's normally a pretty dependable hand to work with, so...
He is, but the way they're playing this off, I'm kind of looking forward to that match more because we've already seen AJ versus Randy at WrestleMania.
Yeah, it's old hat. I want to see something new.
True.
I would like this. I wouldn't mind seeing Edge and Daniel Bryan. You could have a match right there. Break your neck, you're the loser. I mean, with these two guys, concussions and everything. I mean, you have a lot at stake there. I don't know if to see Edge. What is he? He's 39 now, roughly 40 years. What?
He's in his 40s now.
So he's in his 40s.
Yeah.
I don't
46.
know. I don't know.
46.
I don't know if I care to see him against the Ricochets at this point. I kind of agree with Matt. I mean, I'd like to see him more with AJ, Orton, and to get back in there, and Daniel Bryan, than going against some of these younger guys when he's 20 years younger than them, and he may not be able to keep their pace. Besides, he was not signed to wrestle often. He's almost like got a Brock Lesnar schedule in that it's only a few appearances, maybe a pay-per-view here and there.
So all I'm saying is, why waste him on matches we've already seen?
Because it's been 9 years, and they have no choice right now. The way Orton took him out a couple of Mondays ago, they have no choice but to revisit that.
No, they wrote themselves into a corner, but I feel like the original plan was going to be Edge versus AJ, and then AJ got hurt, so they called it on again.
And I think it was AJ and Orton was the original plan because of the way they were battling with the Bullet Club and all that other stuff.
We had AJ versus Orton last year.
Yeah, I don't want to see a rematch.
I don't want to see
I don't
see a WrestleMania rematch.
Well, we'll see. That whatever is good for business and what they're going to do, which is interesting, and I'm going to tie into this because we may have talked about it last week. We have the two vice presidents, whoever they were, that were let go from the board last week. Who's running WWE if Vince McMahon keels over tomorrow? Nobody's been named instead to replace and take over WWE if Vince keels over, where these two presidents that were let go off the board last week were supposed to.
Well, come on, Hunter and Stephanie are the obvious heir apparents, though.
Why not Shane? And I'm just throwing it out there. I'm not saying I disagree with you.
I can see Shane more in an administrative capacity, but I mean, Hunter and Steph have the keys to the kingdom.
Well, nothing's been made official yet. I would think that they would have done that years ago, or previously, maybe not years ago, but it'd be interesting to see. And I throw that in there because now we're dealing with these storylines. We know how shaky creative has been up and down. And we'll see what happens. I mean, obviously, there's 3 months left, roughly 2.5 weeks, 2.5 months before WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And there's still somewhat of plenty of time for these things to shake out and see what's going on. All right. Anything else on that topic, gentlemen? No?
No?
Next topic. Rumor is Samoa Joe. I was over it when I heard the message, when I saw the email come out that Samoa Joe had been suspended, but I've heard from other sources that he is out with a concussion and the suspension was fake news. This was part of a news piece that came out that more suspensions were coming down the pike from WWE for failing the wellness program, and then boom, all of a sudden there's Samoa Joe. I have not seen anything concrete yet, yay or nay, either way, since that came out, other than them either trying to mask this that it was a concussion situation. Your thoughts?
Well, I mean, we know he went down the week prior. We don't know the severity of that. They didn't release anything about his, injury. It could have been a way to write him off TV prematurely. The real reason he could be out is, for wellness violation. But I mean, like I mentioned with Andrade last week, and I'll say the same thing about Samoa Joe this week. I mean, like, these guys getting hit for wellness violations. I mean, it's not like they're coming out looking like Scott Steiner all of a sudden. Okay, I mean, like, if they took something, I mean, I feel like the discipline is there, that these guys just had a bad supplement or something like that, or just.
But here's the thing, though. You take a supplement. Who is it? Someone from football or something. I don't remember what sport it was. He got picked off because he was taking a supplement that was to help his fertility with his wife to start a family. I'm sorry. You're paid this amount of money. How do you not know what's in each product you're putting in your mouth, and in terms of what is or is not on your acceptance list within your sport in terms of performance-enhancing drugs or wellness stuff?
The point is, I'm talking about intent. I don't think these guys are intending to use performance-enhancing drugs.
But we don't know that.
Does Samoa Joe look like he takes performance
That's what I'm saying.
drugs?
It's not like he's coming out looking like Scott Steiner.
Like, really?
That's what I'm saying. Does Andrade?
Because I've heard from, like, previous people, like, when they tested for marijuana, Randy Orton would be like, here's $30,000 for my next 10 fines.
Yeah.
Leave me alone.
Well, we'll see. It'll be interesting to see how it shakes out. I'm more curious.
Pretty sure Matt Riddle pays the same fines.
They've lit my curiosity with the announcement that there may be more coming out. I'm more intrigued at this point because now it's uncertain 100% regarding Samoa Joe. I'd like to believe not, that he was not caught up in this. However, that being said, I'm curious to see who else may get suspended.
See, I also feel like there's some give and take there because it is WrestleMania season. And, I mean, who are you going to take away? Who are you going to take off the road to WrestleMania? Who's valued and who's not?
Listen, there's so much talent that the WWE has that is signed to the roster that they don't use right now. They still have a plethora. If they take certain people off, they've got names sitting back there that they can plug in. Now, will they have the same star power or somebody that they may have to take out if Joe, we'll say hypothetically, doesn't make it to WrestleMania? Is there somebody that they're not using that is the same star power for WrestleMania that a Samoa Joe is? Probably not. But they have a lot of, I think we're all in agreement. WWE has signed a lot of people to keep them away from AEW, ROH, and the rest that they're not using. I mean, look who made an appearance on Raw this past week. Right? Eric, what's his name?
Eric Young.
Eric Young. Where has he been the last number of months?
Main event.
Well, but what was the last? I have not seen a main event show in like forever, so I didn't even know he was there. But be that as it may, the big hoopla with the tag team that he was working with coming up from NXT was good for a couple of months. Then all of a sudden they disbanded, and the next thing we know, Eric Young gone. So, what? Oh my goodness!
Well, we have a guest in the
And it's a black cat, no less.
Oh, is that your cat? No,
That's not yours from inside.
Oh my God, we have a stray cat in the studio.
Holy cow! I sound like Stray Cat Strut should be playing right about now. All right, well, Mr. Producer, we give you full opportunity to do your thing to get rid of the cat.
Just be humane. I'm a cat person.
And then close the door. So
I love cats.
there's nothing worse than wandering pussy. Cats. But anyway.
Hey.
But anyway, yeah. So that's just my thoughts on it. So hold on, I got somebody who's trying to find us on Facebook to watch our show, and then he'll see the feed. Go to that page on Facebook.
What's up, Chief? I see you in the chat room.
You will see us. Jeez Louise.
What's up, Ray? What's up, Ryan? Share us to your guys' wall.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't
Help
know why
spread the word.
My chat room just does not get. Oh, there we go. There's Chief. I see Chief's message, but I don't get all the messages like I used to. I don't know why. Okay. So, are we done with rumors? Anything else? No, that's it. Let's move on to WWE Report. A lot going on. So, Matt, take it away.
We'll save the top one for last. Or do you want to start with that?
Come on,
Let's start
go.
with it. That's some breaking news, man. Let's go.
I was
for
already
it.
doing the TikToks.
On Backstage, they announced that Timothy Thatcher and Las Vegas' own Killer Kross has signed with WWE and have gone to the Performance Center.
We've seen pictures of them in the Performance Center T-shirts. They were not photoshopped.
No, they weren't.
I was in my Performance Center T-shirt last week. I wasn't in Orlando.
That's because you were photoshopped.
That's right. I was photoshopped.
Live via satellite.
That's right. All right. Timothy Thatcher, he's a UK wrestler, right? NXT UK is he's going to be in the UK. Is kind of what I heard a little bit today. Does that sound about right? He's primarily a European wrestler. You guys know anything about Timothy Thatcher? I'm getting the blank look.
I thought he was like a North Cal wrestler from what I've heard from a couple friends. I'm not too familiar with him, but...
So if anybody in the chat room can shoot some information in there about Mr. Thatcher, that would help us. All right, let's talk about the elephant in the room, Killer Kross. Where do you think he starts? Where do you think he lands or not in terms of timetable? Your thoughts, guys?
Future NXT champion.
I see him skipping NXT, honestly, and going straight to the main roster.
Really?
Why would you waste that talent on?
Because NXT is main roster now.
NXT is the main roster, but he's probably going to go to Raw or SmackDown right off the bat, I think.
All right, I think I'd like to see him on Raw, though. There's a lot more matchups on Raw I'd like to see him. I mean, Killer Kross versus Drew McIntyre would be a money match, in my opinion.
But that wouldn't happen, though, until after
not until
WrestleMania, right?
And, of course, they're going to want to get him in the Performance Center to find out what he can do. They're going to want to teach him the WWE way and the methodology.
Watch the cameras and all that kind of stuff.
Not that, I mean, like, Kross is already a natural at pretty much everything he does. So
you mean they didn't teach him that at Impact?
They don't need to teach him a promo, that's for sure. He could teach promo classes on his first day.
That's right.
All right. Anything else that you guys want to talk about on that?
No, just congrats to
them, absolutely.
Kevin, and wish him all the best of luck in WWE.
It's kind of a big coup for FSW too, because that was a main event match for one of the Samstown shows was Thatcher versus Kross.
Yeah,
and their main event match is now both WWE talent, so that's a good coup for FSW, our local promotion here in Vegas.
And it wasn't, and quite frankly, it wasn't something that we were surprised with because I talked with Kevin on a show I did about 2 years ago. It was after it was the second time I interviewed him, and at the time he was just starting with Impact with Austin Aries and the Bodyguard thing and all of that. And we were talking, and who knows if he had anything in the work at the time, but he was hoping even at that time that he'd be taking the next step at some point. And of course, we all know, you guys know him as well personally.
Oh yeah.
That this was always in the hopes in his crosshairs, and fortunately he did it. And what I like about it is we know him, and it's like you said, our very own Vegas guy and connection is now in the big show, so to speak. All right, next
Don't
topic.
forget us, Kevin.
Yeah, really.
That's right.
That's right. We had a return at Raw this week.
A well-deserved return. Welcome back, Ruby Riott.
There you go. Surprised by her return, guys?
I wasn't surprised. I knew she'd been medically cleared. She's been medically cleared for at least a couple of weeks now. I was surprised to not see her at Rumble, but I like the way they used her coming back. I hope they actually have a real concrete character arc for her coming into this.
Me too. I was surprised too that he didn't use her at the Rumble, but it was a cool surprise to see the music hit and Liv's face. Thought she was gonna had her buddy back, and then bang.
Nope. See, and the thing is, like, Ruby Riott is probably one of the most talented women on the entire roster. I mean, I was a huge fan of hers on the indie scene when she wrestled as Heidi Lovelace. Like, she had a really good run in NXT. Never got the gold, but worked some really good matches, and I feel like that she's just kind of been wasted on Raw. And I really, really hope that this heel turn for her, well, I mean, she's been heel since she's been on main roster. She was a babyface in NXT. But I really hope that this turn on Liv leads to bigger things down the line for Ruby, because I really want the world to see what this woman is capable of. She's fantastic.
I totally agree with you. They've wasted, like, the Riot Squad was cool, but it never really went anywhere.
Yeah, they were basically the jobber. They were the Lucha House Party of the women's division.
Yeah. What now? Who was the third member? Was that?
It was Sarah Logan.
Sarah Logan. Okay, we haven't seen much of her in forever. She was in the battle.
She was in the Rumble.
She was in the Rumble. Mm-hmm. When did we see her before that?
She's been wrestling a lot on main event.
All right, 702-660-7666. I was under the impression that we were going to see Liv Morgan come back as a heel. At least we all kind of presented that and presumed that with the connection with The Fiend, with Bray Wyatt, maybe. Who knows? Then all of a sudden she comes in as a little bit of a face working with Rusev in that Lashley-Lana line. I would have liked to have seen more of her as a heel than as a face coming back for Liv. That's just, they cleaned her up to be a pure blonde, which probably should have been a signal that she was not going to be a heel, quite frankly. And I'm not big on this Lana Liv thing unless they're going to be bringing somebody back to balance it with Liv against those two. Because I don't see it being a 2-for-1 very long.
Well, see, I really have the feeling that the Fiend rumors were just that. They were rumors. I think that Liv Morgan is filling the role that they had designed for Tennille Dashwood when she was still in WWE.
Right.
The Emelina character.
Yep.
I'm really getting Emelina vibes from Liv's new character. I think Emelina is basically like the new Liv Morgan, and that's what they want. It's what they wanted the character to be.
Just want to give a shout out to Mark Saint, who just joined us. Derek is in the chat room. Ryan is still out there. He was at the Raw show. When Liv got knocked out by Brie Bella's yes kicks and Ruby full on had to adjust in the match while checking on Liv. Yeah, you got to be flexible. But yeah, that was and that was a nasty move.
Oh yeah, Brie Bella destroyed Liv's face. It was wow.
But to me, I don't know. I would have rather seen Liv come back as a heel, maybe coming off of that because of taking that kind of shot, giving her the impetus to come back from that standpoint. And I don't know. I'm just not sold on this Liv Lana. Now you got Ruby in the middle that it just is not doing anything to me for a storyline, in my opinion. So, but that's just me. What do I know about hockey, as they say? Next, Bret Hart. Some news about Bret Hart.
Bret Hart has revealed he is diagnosed with cancer, which is a type of skin cancer. He's going to go in for surgery and get it removed. We all wish him a speedy recovery. He's one of the greatest of all time.
Yes.
Poor guy's had so many health problems.
The best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. Is this a different type of cancer he dealt with than the last time? I don't remember what he had last time.
I think he had pancreatic.
Was it pancreatic
I
cancer?
thought
don't
the
remember.
I thought the last thing was a stroke.
No,
That was
it was
in
a stroke.
2002.
Okay,
he
yeah.
had cancer.
But he had cancer and a stroke?
I think he had cancer a couple of years ago.
Okay.
The stroke was shortly after he retired from the
that's right.
Goldberg head kick, and he got a dirt bike accident or something like that.
Well, speaking of Goldberg,
Speaking of Goldberg, there you go. That's a nice segue, Johnny.
Goldberg is returning on SmackDown this week, supposedly.
Goldberg.
Goldberg.
Just wish we had smoke coming up behind us. But I think we'd burn the studio down if we did that. Aaron only stretches us so far in our antics.
Actually, I like to think that Goldberg today looks like AP sitting at home.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, I have a picture when I lost weight. This is about a year or so ago. My original radio partner, I was dressed in a black shirt. I was in the bathroom. I flexed a little bit. He found a picture of Goldberg wearing a black sleeveless sweatshirt, flexing with the same arm. And he did the Sesame Street 4 boxes. Which one of these doesn't belong?
One of these things is not
But
like the other one.
I will say this though, and if I find it, I'll post it on the page, which is it's in my phone somewhere. I hate to say it, but there are some similarities. But it's not that I look like Goldberg. Goldberg looks like Aaron Phillips. And that's
our
that's
story,
a bad
and we're
thing. That's
sticking
right.
to it.
Hashtag Oldberg.
There you go. Exactly. I like that. Johnny, I'll give you one for that one. That's all. I'll take $1 off the bill for the gas you owe me for that one. So that's a good one. Okay. Let's see. All right. So he's going to come back on SmackDown. What are we expecting to hear from him, guys? What do you think?
I don't even know who they're going to throw him against.
Is this
Ziggler's
for Saudi
Who are they
like
gonna-
super random.
Who are they going to feed to Oldberg at Super
I was going to
Showdown
say,
this year?
is this for Saudi Arabia that he's going to make this announcement?
Please let it be Baron Corbin and let Baron Corbin win.
I just hope it's not the Undertaker again.
No,
That was-
they're not going to have Goldberg make this announcement, go there, and they're going to not have him lose. They're not going to have him lose. I don't see him losing. I can't see it.
I would.
But it'd be
imagine
cool if he
not,
did.
but
Well, yeah. I mean,
Sure, it'd be a
But-
lot cooler if he did.
but still, I mean, I don't know that would happen and make sense. Because let's face it, these guys that are going to Saudi Arabia, the big names, this is in the contract that the king out there pretty much names to Vince who he wants out there.
He named the Ultimate Warrior last year.
Well,
and Yokozuna.
And Yokozuna.
well, that's bad. Maybe news is very slow traveling out there. I don't know.
I don't think the Saudi prince keeps tabs on the pulse of modern. He should listen to Thoughts Count Anywhere.
That's true. Hey, yeah, Prince. You know,
I wouldn't mind taking a Saudi money sponsorship.
there you go. There you go. But all right. So really, realistically, if you were to make a prediction right here, right now, who's Goldberg facing in Saudi Arabia?
Baron Corbin.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Corbin too.
You know how much I want Baron Corbin to win that match if he does. Oh my God.
I really, you know what? I really have no idea who they would put Goldberg in there with for that trip to Saudi Arabia. But I don't. Whoever they're going to put in there, I don't see Goldberg losing.
I hope it's not Sting. I pray it's not Sting.
Yeah, that would. You know, we talked about the Sting and Undertaker thing at the top 20 years ago. Yeah, I would have loved to have seen that. Today, I'm not thrilled about it.
You know, it's a shame he's not a SmackDown superstar because I would say Seth Rollins.
Against Sting?
Oh, well, no. We already saw that, and it was bad.
He
It was
broke his
very
leg.
bad.
That's why I had to stop wrestling.
Very bad for Sting. I'm saying maybe Seth Rollins can give Goldberg the same treatment. Wink, wink. You know?
I don't know about that. All right, so we'll see what happens on SmackDown this week. All right, anything else in the Raw show? We kind of touched on some of the stuff as we were talking.
Can we talk about Angel Garza, though?
Yeah, go ahead.
Angel
We're up to
Garza
that.
is fantastic.
Came out with Selena Vega this week.
It's a great way to keep Zelina on TV. The family history is there with Lamberto, and I think it's a really good introduction to. It's a good gateway to let people know how talented Angel Garza actually is. Because if you watch him on 205 Live or on NXT, the dude is just next level good. He's like Andrade Jr. His matches are just really entertaining to watch. He's a really good storyteller in the ring.
Yeah, he is.
And I swear, like one of the best matches I've seen in the last couple months was that the Cruiserweight title match between him and Leo Rush was just awesome.
Leo Rush now trying to communicate with Bobby Lashley. I don't know if you saw some of his tweets, and Lashley responded in kind.
Hey, Bobby.
So are we going to potentially see something? Because now Rush dropped the belt. He's not the champ anymore.
No.
So is there a possibility that we may see Leo Rush get back up to Raw with Bobby Lashley again?
I would love that because I like Leo Rush at the side of Bobby Lashley way more than I like Lana at the side of Bobby Lashley. And Leo Rush was that perfect, annoying kid brother archetype for Lashley.
Yeah, he was.
It really, I thought that it hit really well, and I was really enjoying the stuff they were doing together. Because, you know, Bobby was the muscle, and Leo would just talk all the smack and then hide behind Big Brother. It was awesome. But at the same time, I hope it doesn't take away from seeing Leo in the ring, because I don't want Leo to get stereotyped as a typical cowardly heel. Leo Rush is amazing in the ring. He finally got his attitude in check, and he's got his head in the game. And his matches, since he came back on NXT, have been amazing. So I really hope that if he does come back, I hope it's more of a tag team relationship as opposed to a manager, managee relationship.
Yeah, he needs to be in the ring.
Well, we'll see what happens down the line. You know, as we were chatting there, a name came to mind that if Samoa Joe, for whatever the reason, is unable to move forward going into WrestleMania, where's Rusev been? I haven't seen him on since all this stuff with Lashley. Now Lashley was in the triple threat match for the number one title or contender match to go against Brock in Saudi Arabia. Where's Rusev been?
Oh, I don't think that feud is over by any means. I think they're going to carry that feud on until Mania.
If Samoa Joe has to step aside, just in the worst case scenario, I'd like to see Rusev get a shot. That's just me. The guy, I mean, Rusev Day and all that stuff. The guy has become self-made, and that would be a name that I would like to see.
So you want
somewhere.
to see Rusev added to that whole mid-card kerfuffle with Kevin Owens versus Seth Rollins and Buddy Murphy and all them?
Absolutely. At least he's in there.
I
At least he's in there.
I actually don't hate that.
Yeah.
See, put him on TV every week at least.
Exactly. Exactly. All right. Couple other things within Monday night before we get to the big NXT challenge. Asuka versus Natalya, and then Becky, and some sort of dance that Asuka was doing, which looked like Elaine Bettis trying to dance from Seinfeld. Whatever happened, also, too, I don't know if you guys saw the picture, but Natty got a nice shiner from Asuka, and she was not too happy about that.
Asuka is one of the stiffest workers in the business.
Well, I'm sure they had words about that backstage for
They
sure.
they absolutely did, and I'm sure there'll be a receipt coming somewhere from Natty. But what was that whole? She calls out Becky. She's yelling and screaming in her native language because she doesn't speak English well. Becky talks about these superpowers with eyes in the back of her head, so she catches Kane coming in. Yeah,
Kairi Sane.
Kairi, that's the one. Kairi Sane coming in from behind her. So that whole little thing just sort of fell flat to me.
I don't know. I kind of like the promo. I mean,
it's her getting heat from like the whole Japanese thing, but I want to know what the hell she's saying.
She's probably saying nothing more than ordering something for dinner from somebody in the back to get her something. I mean, who knows? That's. I think they're trying to create that mystique.
are you saying you want Bruce Pritchard to do subtitles for us? Indeed.
Yeah, exactly. All right, and then the other piece of news I think is important is that, of course, Rhea Ripley challenged Charlotte for WrestleMania. What is that, for the NXT title?
That's
is
a
that
money
right?
match. I want to see that.
That has to happen.
That needs to happen.
I believe so. I think that is now going to put a huge magnified spotlight, of course, on the NXT brand.
Especially if you have Rhea win.
Oh, my goodness. Could you imagine if she walks out beating Charlotte in that?
Oh, I think it would firmly establish
Let's
NXT
assume
is no longer developmental.
Well, yeah, officially, because, of course, they're trying to make it not developmental anyway. But let's say Charlotte loses. Where does that leave Charlotte? What do you think would happen? Where do you think your story would go if she were to go against Ripley and lose?
I think she stops this tweener nonsense and goes full bore heel again, and I would love that because heel Charlotte is the best Charlotte.
I totally agree with that.
Okay. All right, we'll see what happens as we get closer. Okay, some other tidbits of news, not related to Raw specifically. Lacey Evans did a great thing. We reshared the post on our Facebook page, which, by the way, please like our Facebook page if you haven't done so. 25,000 views for last week's show a week ago. You got to join the wave now. Also, if you're interested in joining us for advertising and sponsorship to be part of that growth in audience, Mr. Matt, tell the folks where they can get in touch with us.
You can email us at thoughtscountanywherepodcast@gmail.com.
Give it again.
thoughtscountanywherepodcast@gmail.com. There's a
about-
button on our Facebook page. It'll take you right to it.
One more time for the hearing impaired.
thoughtscountanywherepodcast.
For the hearing impaired, they're not going to hear you anyway. No, I'm just kidding.
Man.
Gotcha.
We might have to get our producer to start putting subtitles
There you go.
because we're equal opportunity here at Thoughts Count Anywhere.
That's right. Equal opportunity offenders. We're all over it.
We'll take anybody's money.
Exactly. Except Monopoly money. We just won't take Monopoly money. By the way, if you are listening to us and watching us on Facebook or GoLive.Vegas, we thank you very much. Please keep in mind, as soon as this show is off the air, the show is immediately available through our Facebook page as an immediate podcast, as well as this show will repeat on, today's Wednesday, Sunday, 6 p.m. right here on GoLive.Vegas, and of course all of our other podcast sites, which I'll have Matt rattle off here in a second. You can go back and catch any part of this show or any previous show that we've had since August. Guys, we've only been on the air about 6 months. We went from a couple of hundred views on our very first show to now obtaining 25,000 views in a week on our shows.
Tell your friends.
That's pretty cool. I'm new to this whole thing. I just thought getting like 100 views was cool.
Yeah, right?
When I saw the news now, I was
Somebody's
like, whoa.
watching. Exactly. And we appreciate you tuning in. Quickly, just give them an idea of some of you don't have to give them all, just give them an idea of some of our podcast audio sites.
We got Apple Music, Google Play, TuneIn, Stitcher, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and whatever other sites besides the one Johnny just told me about. What was that?
Podbean.
Podbean. We'll
We're
be
not on that
there
one
tomorrow.
yet. We're not on. We're going to be on that one tomorrow.
I will set that up tomorrow. So pretty much any place you find your podcast, you can find Thoughts Count Anywhere.
There you go. Sounds like a plan. And of course, as always, GoLive.Vegas. GoLive.Vegas is the website. Go to your Play Store, your shopping store, your gift store, your app store, whatever it's called on your phone. 3 words, Go Live Vegas. Download the app right now so that when there is not a show on the air, you can listen to great music 24/7. What do we call that? EMC squared music? What do you call that
EDM?
music? EDM. Electric dance music? Is that what it's called? Are you going to play 80s ever on that station like my music? If I want, yeah, you're going to play it at 2 in the morning when I'm asleep and I can't hear it. I know you. I'm talking to Aaron, our producer, by the way. Okay.
All right, well, real quick.
Yes.
You know how I knew we finally hit the kind of big time?
How's that?
We had our first video blocked by WWE for copyright.
They're watching.
That's right. But it wasn't
They
one.
are watching.
Well, let's clarify. It wasn't a show.
It wasn't one of our shows. It was a video. It was actually Kevin Owens doing that awesome parkour off of the Raw sign.
Right on. All right. Lacey Evans bought softball team equipment for school for them to have their stuff going into the season. That was a great move by Lacey.
She's a natural babyface.
So why did they start her off as a heel then?
They started off as a babyface in NXT, and then they turned her heel, and they kept her heel, and they doubled down on heel, and then they realized she's terrible as a heel.
All right, as the old saying goes, been here, done that. The Revival have asked for release again from WWE.
Hashtag FTR, free the Revival.
According to Booker T, their latest contract offer was $700,000 a year for each.
Oh, wow.
Their previous offer was $500,000, which they did not sign. Now they're being offered $700,000 each. Unless they're going to get $1 million each, either from AEW or another promotion, I'm sorry, $700,000 a year, and you don't use me very often. I may not be totally happy, but I'll take $700,000.
Yeah, some people are a little bit more dedicated to their craft than that.
What are you saying?
I'm saying, I don't know if I would. I want to do something that makes me happy, not just phone it in for money.
Okay.
You know.
But you can only do this kind of job for so long. You might as well grab the money while you can, because this only lasts so long, depending on injuries.
Tell that to Ric Flair. Tell that to Jerry Lawler.
He's one of. There's a couple
Jerry
of
Tell
those
that to
you would say-
PCO.
And Jerry Lawler, at 70 years old, just won a heavyweight championship at a promotion down south. By the way, Ryan, I would prefer to see the video of Alexa Bliss leaning on a rope anytime versus Kevin Owens flying off the marquee. So, anyway, next topic. John Cena was recently asked in an interview, and he thinks Brock Lesnar is the greatest in-ring performer of all time. So, before you guys answer that, I will follow that up with yet another question. If you believe in that statement, do you not have to put him on your Mount Rushmore of wrestling? Now you may
I've
answer.
read that, and I had to read that like 4 different times to make sure I was reading what I actually saw.
I had to read to make sure it didn't say Baron Corbin and not Brock Lesnar.
Come on now. Come on now.
All hail.
All hail King Corbin.
All have the dog food.
Cheap chili.
No, seriously. I mean, do you really think? I mean, how far off or how accurate do you think Cena's statement is? I don't know how he can say that when over 16 years he was probably one of the greatest in-ring performers. The Rock, Hogan, Stone Cold. We can go down probably 50 names before, in my opinion, my list. I would put Lesnar as the greatest.
As much as I love The Rock,
Mm-hmm.
I would never put him on any of my Mount Rushmores unless it's Mount Rushmore of promos. Because, I mean, the hard part about The Rock is, like, his in-ring career was actually so very short.
Okay, so I get that. You're 100% right. Is he better than Bruno Sammartino in the ring?
Well, I mean, Bruno wrestled for, 40 years.
So is he better than Bruno?
No, but on the
Okay.
microphone, yes.
But that's not what Cena said.
We're talking about Brock. Brock is really good for what they bill him as. They bill him as the final boss. Like, he is the Bowser of WWE.
I get that. I'm not asking to split hairs on that.
And
Cena's statement, greatest in-ring performer of all time.
And
I don't know how he can say that when he wrestled Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels is the greatest in-ring performer ever.
yeah.
Bret Hart?
Bret Hart was a great technician, I think, in terms of when I say the word performer, who does their job and who does it above and beyond the Call of Duty. Shawn Michaels is a great example. Undertaker is a great example. Performer is so much more than in-ring technician, like technical prowess. It's so much more than athleticism. Performer is just a Shawn Michaels, an AJ Styles, a Daniel Bryan.
So you just named 3 people that would knock Brock off as the greatest in-ring performer.
I say they're in the conversation. Brock is really good at what he does. He's got the athleticism.
Who would you tag the greatest in-ring performer in right now? Shawn Michaels?
Chris
Shawn
Jericho.
Michaels.
What'd you say?
Chris Jericho.
Okay, so then both of you disagree with Cena's statement.
Yes.
That's all I'm trying to get to. All right. Last topic under WWE. R-Truth.
I'm just saying that to give the devil his due, Brock is really good at what Brock does.
I'm not taking that away. All I'm doing is using Cena's words in that interview, the greatest, and he's not. R-Truth said in an interview that Brock is pitching ideas backstage to work with R-Truth again. What does that say about R-Truth's ability as a performer?
R-Truth is one of the most entertaining people in the company. So I'm sure Brock can figure out some fun stuff to do with him.
Yeah.
Especially when it wants to go to Sioux Falls City instead of Suplex City. But
I could watch Brock play the straight man to R-Truth all day.
absolutely. Okay, let's move on.
I really wanted a spot in the Rumble where the 24/7 title got involved somehow.
Yeah, that would but who?
But
holds
then,
it?
hypothetically, what if Paul Heyman found himself winning,
Oh my God.
and then
Watch him try to waddle
then
away.
R-Truth beat Paul Heyman for the 24/7 title during the Rumble? Thus, he just eliminated Paul Heyman from the Rumble. Eh?
Jeez. Oh my goodness. All right, independent news. Brody King resigns with ROH. Not
Wait, the
resigns,
opposite of resigns.
Yeah, exactly.
I saw this coming a mile away ever since Marty resigned. So
You know all his friends are staying now.
yeah, PCO is going to resign when PCO's contract is up.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
The real question is Flip Gordon going to resign?
I see him going to AEW.
We all said the same thing about Marty.
True.
So I
Well,
don't
now
know.
he's the big shot at
Which might be really good for Flip.
Could be, yeah.
could be. Whoops. Upcoming BVW show, Tommy Purr's Tough Love, February 16th, 2 p.m. at the Sahara Event Center. Johnny, you want to chat on that?
Sure, Tough Love looks to be a very fun event. We're having a tournament to crown the I don't know if it's the first ever, but the most recent, at least the first one in a couple of years, fighting champion of BVW. Fighting champion is equivalent to the Money in the Bank. If you win the fighting champion, you are able to cash that title in for a shot at any title in BVW.
And what makes this tournament unique is it is the existing tag teams in Big Valley Wrestling partners against themselves, each other. So you're going to see Mondo Rocks take on Robbie Litt.
We're going to see DeShade take on Dad Bud Dave.
Exactly. Just as an example of a couple of the teams. So there's, I think, 4 of those matches. There's also about 4 or 5 other matches on the card. Of course, it starts at 2 p.m. Doors open at 1:30 at the Sahara Event Center. You can go on to Big Valley Wrestling's Facebook page, check it out. Johnny and I will be there back behind the microphone, as well as for those of you who will be going to Level Up here the following week at the Las Vegas Convention Center. You will more than likely be hearing Johnny's voice and my voice doing some of the calling of the action that'll be going on over that weekend as well. So we'll be at Level Up as well. If you come to Level Up, be sure you come by and say hi to Johnny and I. We'll even take a picture with you for $100. It's February 21st through 20.
Meaning Aaron will pay you $100
Exactly.
to take his picture.
How would you describe Level Up? It's basically a
It's
gamer.
like an anime gamer, like nerd expo.
I'll describe it as fun. I've gone the last 3 years and I've loved it.
February 21 through 23. It is at the Las Vegas Convention Center. You must register online. Go to the Level Up official expo page on Facebook. If you purchase a registration through the Facebook page, I believe they're going to take $5 off, a $5 discount for your registration through Facebook. You cannot and will not be able to enter into the event, even if you just want to come to the wrestling matches. You must get registered for the Level Up event. Check it out on Facebook. That is the 21st through the 23rd. FSW, gentlemen, talk about their match coming up on the 15th.
I haven't seen any matches announced for it yet, but FSW Valentine's Day Massacre is the day before BBW's event, so February 15th at the FSW Arena.
It's going to be an awesome weekend of local wrestling here in Las Vegas.
Absolutely. I hope Frank Collada is okay with FSW using Valentine's Day Massacre in their title. For those of you,
I hope WWE is okay with it. They had a one-shot pay-per-view.
yeah, but I'd be afraid of Frank Collada because he's killed people literally. Okay, before we get deep into the Impact news, let's talk about what's going on at Power Play Sports tomorrow night from 6 to 8 p.m., Matt.
Tessa Blanchard and her boyfriend Daga will be at Power Play Sports Cards from 6 to 8, signing autographs, taking pictures. Tessa is going to have the World Heavyweight title with her for the photo ops, and Daga is going to have his AAA title with him also.
Does that mean we should all come in with our own belts that we have at home? I'm actually having a custom-made belt made. This is the first I'm even letting it out. I'm taking my Aaron Phillips The Voice logo.
Okay.
Going to be the main plate. And I found a nice character picture of basically a microphone and a headset, the old style. That's going to be the side plates. for my brand.
Cool.
I thought it was going to be your face stretched
No,
across leather.
no,
I thought you were going to spend $4,000 on it.
No. I'm not that vain. But anyway, so that's tomorrow night. And then on Saturday from 1 to 4 at Power Play is?
Hacksaw Jim Duggan and the $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase.
That's right. Now, I believe for Saturday, it's $20 for a photo op and $20 for a signature. Is that correct?
Yes.
And then tomorrow, is it the same?
Yes.
All right, so 20 and 20. No admission to get there. It's just if you want a picture and an autograph, it's $20 each. And they'll even give you a special of $40 for both. Boy,
And also, I
that went over
believe-
like a lead balloon. didn't
I
it?
was like, is that a special really? That just sounds like the way it is.
All right, Impact tapings. Talk about Impact this weekend, guys.
Well, we're going.
Well, we'll definitely be at the Impact tapings that are Friday, Saturday, Sunday at Sam's Town. I don't know how their attendance is going to be Saturday because NXT is also in town.
Well, I'm going to NXT too, so.
Yeah.
Notice they only got 2 tickets. They didn't get a third one.
Actually, I can get a third for Impact.
I might have a connection with the champion tomorrow.
There you go.
Hey.
Hey, there you go. If we get that connection, I want to be backstage and watch it. But anyway, yes, you're right. Scott Hosey is watching. He just tuned in. What's up there, Mr. Fourth? He's our masked Wolverine. All right.
Speaking of the Level Up Expo, as
yes.
far as I know, Scott's going to have a table,
Yes.
so me and him will be there also.
That is correct. I'm glad you mentioned that. So actually, the Fourth Thoughtsman will be at Level Up throughout the weekend.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It's a fun time. Come on down.
Be my first experience.
What's up,
Okay.
Scott?
AEW Double or Nothing pay-per-view for Las Vegas at MGM is set for.
Wait, real quick. What happened on Impact this week, Matt?
There was no Tessa Blanchard.
That's why we didn't.
Tessa
say
Blanchard
anything.
did not wrestle.
Well, no, she's on her way to Vegas, so that's why she didn't wrestle. Guys, she's got to get her sleep.
That's a catchphrase, though.
They did bring Sue Young back, so it's kind of cool.
Hey.
But no Tessa Blanchard.
AEW Double or Nothing coming to MGM Grand Garden Arena when?
May, what is
I think it
this?
was
23rd.
May 23rd. Yes.
All right, if you read the run sheet, it always helps. But anyway, is that Memorial Day weekend or is that the week before?
I think that is Memorial Day weekend,
All right.
and then FSW announced their Mecca show the day before that.
Oh, there you go.
That's going to be just an awesome weekend of wrestling.
Scott puts in the chat room, yes, we will have a table, and all of us will be signing autographs that day. That would be cool.
I just hope they bring back that barroom wrestling that they had last year.
Oh, yeah.
They did it at the Sahara Event Center in the bar above,
Yeah,
like
that
above
was
it in the
cool.
loft. Like that was just awesome. It was like kayfabe bar fighting, and it was just. I mean, I got to see Darby Allin fight Nick Gage that night. That was just awesome.
Hey, Scott, don't threaten me. I do have headshots that I can bring. All right, so we got to get through these. Sue Young resurrected at Impact tapings.
It was kind of cheesy, but kind of cool. They had like her regular character, and Rosemary was antagonizer, gave her the bloody glove, and they fought over until Sue Young became Sue Young again.
Jeez. All right, merry-go-round. Gotcha. Awesome Kong has been written off TV with an injury angle so she can film Glow for Netflix. She hasn't really been used. She hasn't been in ring a whole lot because of some injuries or something as of late anyway.
Well, I mean, she's getting older, and she's got health concerns too. So I think they've used her perfectly. She's the muscle for Brandy. And,
Right.
I feel like Awesome Kong should be like a Brock Lesnar type figure. She's the final boss. You got to get through all the minions to get to Awesome Kong.
You
There
had
you
to
go.
get through Rio to get to Awesome Kong.
All right, so we wish Awesome Kong good luck on the Netflix stuff.
I don't know why you're hating on Rio. I love Rio.
Scott, I have one of those on Facebook. I can easily print them off. Don't give me a challenge, dude, because I can get it.
My mask is in my trunk, and my car's right over here.
There you go.
Mine's packed in a box for the move.
Jericho said on his podcast, Vince told him to go to AEW, then asked if he can get out of the contract once he found out he signed.
Wonder if he realized he was like bluffing, or I don't know what that was, but it was kind of interesting. He's like, "Oh, just go for it." And then once he signed, he's like, "Hold on."
I didn't think Vince thought he was actually serious.
Well, you never know with Vince McMahon, right?
But Le Champion does as Le Champion will do.
There you go. All right, we're going to move on now to, we only got 10 minutes left already. Holy cow. 702-660-7666. That's 660-7666. We've covered a lot of topics. We'd love to hear from you guys outside of the chat room. Give us a call. Give us your thoughts on anything going on. Your Saudi Arabia predictions. Who's Bill Goldberg going to wrestle? Whatever. Just give us a call.
I really want to see Goldberg versus Gilbert.
I was thinking of that before, but I didn't want to say it.
You know how mad I was when Raw was here for that Night of Jericho or the friendship celebration?
Yes.
And I was like in the back, and I saw Gilbert, so I already knew what was about to get ruined. And that guy's a bigger douchebag than Goldberg.
Wait,
Goldberg's
really?
super cool. That guy was like the most cocky little prick. I could not believe. I was like, who the hell do you think you are, dude?
He's
You're
Dwayne
Gilbert.
Gill, man.
Jeez. Well, he's somebody that's made it a lot bigger than we are sitting, the three of us sitting here right now, doing his little shtick. Okay, time for some pop culture.
I think Matt's been avoiding this.
Let's do
topic
some
all-
football.
I think Matt's
How
been
about
avoiding.
not? How about not? How about not? How about the referees handing the Chiefs the Super Bowl? You guys
Why?
want to talk about that?
Why? You talking about that pass interference on the tight end down the sideline?
That too, or the go-ahead touchdown that wasn't a touchdown.
You talking about the-
Clearly,
Are you talking about when he was going out of bounds and the toe and the ball on line? I tell you what, the nose of the ball got over the line before he stepped out of
It
bounds.
did, and Matt, there were still
How?
even if they had called it down at the line, there were still 3 more downs to get it over the line. I
Correct.
don't think you were going to stop that offense. I'm sorry.
Bottom line is this. Last week on Twin Brothers from Different Mothers, I predicted the Chiefs would win by 10. I was off by a point. So if you listened, you could have won with me, but that's okay. I'll send you a bill for my...
I'm just glad to see Andy Reid win a Super Bowl final.
Yes, and absolutely. That's why I was kind of torn between... I was hoping overall it was just going to be a good game since I had no skin in the game.
Just all hail the Kool-Aid man.
But I did... did you guys see the picture I posted after the Super Bowl of me and Andy Reid?
I did.
yeah, that was cool.
Man, oh man, and you couldn't tell who was who because of how freaking heavy I was at the time. But congratulations to the Chiefs. And there was a picture on Facebook today of Travis Kelce wearing the belt as he was dancing around up on the stage. And I guess, and I didn't get many of the details, during the parade today, there was a police chase that ran through the parade or something.
I didn't see
I
that.
heard about that. I wanted
I
to
did-
see the video.
I was going to say, I didn't get much details on the who, what, when, where, and how. But yeah, apparently some sort of high-speed police chase.
Maybe they were filming a scene for Fast and Furious 9 starring John Cena.
There you go. Could very well.
I don't know if I can watch a movie where I don't see the villain.
All right. So moving on to another football topic. This weekend, the NFL shuts down for the season, getting ready for the draft coming here to Las Vegas, April 20.
That's going to be a traffic nightmare.
3, 4, 5. XFL, 8 teams. 4 games on Saturday, 4 games on Sunday, 2 games on each day, Saturday and Sunday. And XFL kicks off. You excited? Do you care? Do you not care? What's your thoughts on the XFL?
My thoughts are we're going to see Andrew Luck and Antonio Brown come out as the hottest free agent XFL signings. They're going to be the John Moxley and Chris Jericho of the XFL.
My goodness.
I don't see Antonio Brown going to the XFL, but
I don't
I
thi-
think the first rule of the XFL, Vince says, is you can't be a criminal, and
Well,
Antonio Brown doesn't exactly fit that.
We might see
category.
Gronk.
No, I think you see the way his body has changed.
Who,
I mean,
Gronk?
Gronk,
Could you
yeah.
imagine like the ultimate turn and Tom Brady goes to the XFL?
Oh, that would be a good one, too. Or Phillip Rivers.
Oh my goodness!
Could
Yeah.
Vince be like, here's a blank check. I'm totally messing with the NFL.
Dude, what about Kaepernick?
Could you imagine?
Kaepernick could show up in the XFL.
Now I'm surprised he hasn't, or if he was going to the XFL, he should have already been signed. Obviously.
Oh, no. I think these people have been signed for months. If you're running a football player with the mentality of a wrestling promoter, you keep your cards close to the chest until the reveal.
I guess.
I'm just saying, could you imagine if Colin Kaepernick or Andrew Luck come out of that tunnel?
But the
and
only-
Andrew Luck's a really good possibility because his father is the CEO of the XFL.
Yeah, he is, but also too, he left the NFL because of injuries and the condition of his body and the concussions in his knee and everything. I don't think he would. I would be surprised if he would be willing to put his body on the line, especially his knees, with guys who are basically in a developmental football league versus the NFL guys.
I'm telling you,
Well,
it's a coup.
But here's the thing, though.
It's a work. It's a work, Aaron. It's a work.
He's trying less to run the XFL 2.0 less as a wrestling promotion and more as an actual football program, which is why they've taken a year or so to put this together, not the initial 90 days with He Hate Me and all that other stuff. Although there were a lot of innovations that came out of the XFL that the NFL uses now in terms of broadcasting and cameras and the sky camera and the body camera that they use, there were innovations that came out of the original XFL. Vince is standing to lose hundreds of $1 million from year one is the prediction.
They said he's going to lose $400 million, make it $500 million, and sign Tom Brady.
See, I do think that they should, at least in the NFL, they should do like 1 week where they like do have their nicknames on the back. They do that in baseball. Like baseball, they have like a fan week or something like that,
Yeah.
where like they
use nicknames and
where
stuff.
they nicknames on the back of their jersey. I would like to see that in the NFL. You know, just
Yeah, why not? They come out with different uniform jerseys of different games, throwbacks every once in a while for more sales on that sort of stuff. So why not?
Sure.
Next topic. The Hard Rock closed this week and will reopen in about 10 months towards the end of the year as the Virgin Hotel. There's something about the word Virgin in Las Vegas that just kind of are ironic, but that's just me. So Richard Branson's first hotel will be up and running towards the end of the year.
I expect it to be very pink. He
Very
loves
pink.
the-
Yeah, he does.
Oh yeah.
He certainly does. Maybe a rocket will shoot out of the roof going to Mars.
I'm actually kind of sad because I've seen a lot of concerts there at the Joint or Vinyl. I mean, like they were great venues here in town, and I really hope that when they reopen, they still kind of cater to that good rock and roll clientele.
I hope so. I've seen a lot of cool events in there, met a lot of cool people.
Yeah.
I was kind of sad to see it go, but they learned their lesson from the Palms, like redoing their casino and doing it in like stages. So like part of the casino wasn't
Right.
open, so they're just like, we're closing this whole thing and
Do it right the
see you
first
in
time.
a couple months.
There you go. All right, 2 more topics that I wrote down real quickly. In-N-Out Burgers has come up with a slip-on sneaker using their famed cups as the model. In-N-Out Burgers now getting into apparel.
Are they going to have Bible verses on the bottom of the sole?
They might. Check it out on Facebook. I reshared it onto my Facebook wall. And, of course, just before we went on the air, the legendary Spartacus, Kirk Douglas, at the young age of 103 years young, passed away today. I didn't read why, but God knows at 103, hopefully it was just natural causes. And I'm going to say this, we should all live to 103. And he was relatively healthy. It's not like he was confined in a bed in his later years. He was still out and about in a chair, but so thoughts and prayers
Hey,
to the Douglas
Spartacus did not go out like a chump.
family. No. Okay, now you guys want to touch on this last topic, and we're talking about comments that were made. So what do we have left there, Mr. Producer? How much time? How many? 3. So you guys have to be quick on this. You guys can chat very quickly on that last topic. I'm going to stay away from it.
You want to go ahead, Johnny?
I'll let you two. I'll let you
Give a
finish.
recap of what we're starting it with.
It was during the State of the Union. Congressman Tim Ryan tweeted, "During the State of the Union, I've had enough. It's like professional wrestling. It's all fake," which has started like an uproar on Twitter.
Yeah, wrestling's not fake. People are fake.
Truth.
So it's gotten some reaction from some of the professional wrestlers that we know, right?
Yeah, Dolph Ziggler actually tweeted, and he's like he's also on Fox News, and he's also into political stuff. And he said, "As a fan of pro wrestling and politics and Congressman Ryan, I see many similarities between the jobs we so passionately do, such as it's only real when we win," which was kind of a cop at him saying basically you're just crying because you're not winning of your argument, which basically that's all politics seems to be nowadays.
I mean, Matt Seidel went and got on a whole platform about it too.
I didn't see that.
Yeah,
I just
Evan
saw-
Bourne.
Yeah.
And Paige was like, just leave me out of it. But isn't Paige British? So
Yeah, I don't think she cares. She just don't want wrestling involved in it.
I mean, look, we're not very political on this show.
Uh-oh.
We're trying not to.
Uh-oh. All right, we're not gonna see him. But go ahead, you have to finish up your thoughts real quickly because I want to get the hell out of here.
I think it's getting scary in here. No, I was just gonna say, politics and wrestling, oil and water. Just we don't want to get political on the show. Just. Oh man, I knew that's
Okay.
I knew that was coming.
All right, real quickly, gentlemen.
Getting out of here.
That's going to do it for Thoughts Count Anywhere.
I'm a legend. He's gonna hurt me.
I'm getting out of here. Oh my God, I can't even speak. Have a great week, everybody. Hopefully, we will be back on the air next week if the Fiend doesn't get to us. Have a great week
Let's go.
for Johnny, for Matt, for me, for Aaron, Scott, wherever you are. Be happy you're not here. Have a great week, everybody. From all of us here at TCA. God bless you. Thank you for watching. Oh my God.